Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is a continuation, I guess, of my testimony from being a chakra hun to being a Jesus hun. So I remember the previous, the first part actually, I spoke about, I just wanted to pour it out and to just say that I was a part of something that I was not supposed to be a part of, right? And today I just want to share, I think it's just story time, if I could put it that way, and the process in how I got out, and not mostly not just the aspects of prayer and deliverance that I had to go through, but to walk you through the things that I had to go through that actually got me to a dark place where I had to choose now, whether it's life or it's death, So yes, welcome back, and I just thank you guys for watching. And I also ask that you guys please subscribe, please comment, that we can interact. I actually love that more than anything, so that I can see there's just this thing of understanding where you are with people and how you are interacting with them when they give you feedback. Whether you have this thing where, am I actually going through this alone, or there are people that are actually seeing what or maybe little glimpses of what they could potentially fall into, which is a warning in them, and some people that are in it and want to get out. So I've actually been receiving feedback about that, and I really thank God that this is not just me blabbing. There are people that are actually listening and taking things in between me just going all the way and all over the show. So thank you guys very much for that, and we are going to keep moving. We're going to get delivered. We are going to get into healthier spaces in our lives through our testimony. And yeah, this is part 2. Who knows, it might be, but there might be a part 3. Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, just a continuation. Obviously, previously I was just talking about how I started, and the journey around maybe trying to figure out what is it that got me to that space. So now I'm in the space where everything is just going well, and I'm attracting and I'm manifesting and all of those things, right? And I also had a company, well, a business, not a company, a business that I used to do meal prepping, right? It just started off as something very light because of how I eat, and people used to be like, why don't you just, and then it started there because I also had a passion for it, just to see, just exactly as I'm doing right now. I'm one person that just likes to, if I find something and I see that it's working, I want to share it with other people. Or if I feel that there's something that I did that did not work, I also want to share it with other people, so that they don't get into the spaces where they walk into traps, for example, that I had walked into. So it's similar. So it's the same thing, I guess. Maybe that's what my purpose is. I don't know. But anyway, so yes, I had a meal prepping business, and it was just going well. Everything was just going well. And I was also in the midst and in between of in the midst of a breakup, where I broke up a long-term relationship, where I spoke about it. Uti, I felt like we're just no longer walking the same path, and I was like woke, and he was just tailing behind and stuff like that. And I think a lot of things were just happening around that time for me spiritually, trying to figure out certain things, and things were popping for me as well, and I didn't feel like I received the support that I needed to receive, and I did not want to hamper someone else and constantly remind them that please be let's be equally yoked, if I could put it that way, that when one elevates, can we get to a place where we both do something, or we both understand each other, that we need to grow. So those are the things that happened, and broke it off, and I moved out, right? And I got my own place, and I was there with my kids and all of that. And then obviously living my best life, me now with my twin flame and all of that. But there was a time where I could not make it in terms of rent. I could not make it in terms of school fees. I think reality started kicking in, because I was from a place where we shared responsibilities with someone. And I'm here with my, thank God, peanuts, grateful, but reality taught me and showed me that, you know what, you want to put your child in this school, because now my kids have to go to different schools, and my son was in a private school and he had to downgrade my, a lot of things that happened, and I was like, oh my gosh, even with regards to food and transport, things became real. Let me just put it that way, they became real. And for someone like me, mm, I don't like to struggle. I don't like to suffer. I'd rather downgrade. And that's just, I think there's a good part about it and there's a bad part about it, because I don't fight. I don't give things the fight that they're supposed to, I don't fight for what I want. And that's something that I've discovered and someone made me aware of, that, you know what, you're someone that likes to give up and you'd rather downgrade instead of just fighting to get to the next level when it comes to certain things. So I'm just, yeah. So anyway, that person made me aware. So I realized that, okay, fine, because I'm someone that I'm like, okay, I'm in a terrible situation and I've got a home that I can go to. What I did is I actually had a conversation with my dad. I was like, Dad, I'm not surviving. Either you, I don't know, please help me figure things out. Actually, that's what I went to my dad for. And I actually had a conversation with him and I was like, I'm struggling financially. I made this decision and I was not aware, the decision of actually separating from the person that I was with. And I was not aware of the things that I had to actually just stand on my own and do, And that was foreign for me because I had being that person that used to skip from one relationship to another, and now because I'm choosing me, I actually have to choose me. Sometimes we think choosing me is just this beautiful thing where I'm like, nope, 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 but actually choosing you is actually having to separate from certain things that you used to benefit from, and in the long run there will be fruits, good fruits, but in that moment they feel it just feels like your world is tumbling down, So fine, I just decided on that, and I was like, you know what, Dad, moving. Oh no, my dad actually said, you know what, why don't you come back home? There's no shame in that. It's a shame when you're actually considerate of what are other people going to think and say, all of those things. I mean, number one, I was lobolat, so I came back from, it's like I'm a return soldier, number one. Number two, I got my own place and I was here like Miss Living single, independent, and I couldn't make it, And then now I'm this person now that has to move back from home. So all of that happened in a space of months, and it was so tough for me. But I'm just that person. I don't know, from how I grew up and the confidence that was instilled in me when it comes to what other people think, I think that's one of the things that I don't really suffer from. I'd rather suffer from the things that I'm internally insecure about, but it is never a thing of thinking about other people before I think about myself, So that was, I think, beneficial for me, because when my dad was like, come, it was easy for me to just pack, to just do my own notice at the place that I actually rented, and I actually moved out, moving out, and I came back home. So fine, the actual conflict, I think, started when I moved back home. Remember, my dad is a pastor. Remember, I'm practicing my own things. Remember, I'm living a certain lifestyle that previously I would just take my kids to my dad maybe for the weekend, and I'll just live my best life. Or during the week, actually during the week I never used to do much because my kids were around. So during on the weekends I used to sleep at certain times and go and on, do all those wild things that we guys know what to do So that was where the struggle was, and there was that thing inside of me that was like, you know what, I'm done. Number one, I've not been into this space where now I'm an adult and this person wants to tell me what to do. Number two, they want to tell me what to believe in, because my dad has this rule that whatever you do, even if you can go out on a Saturday, please make sure that when I drive out, you are also driving your car out, you are following me, we are going to church. He's been like that for forever. Like, even when I was still young and rebellious and whatever, when I was at his place, it was that factor. Would see, you know what, I don't care, do what you do and what you feel like, this is your life. But Sunday morning, we are going to church, you know. So there was also a conflict in my head, in my mind, and I was so angry. I was so angry, and I'm like, look at this Jesus that is just getting people to just try and control us, and I just want to be someone that is free and want to experiment, because this thing has been working for me, and he's the one that is enslaved. You know what I mean? Because you're becoming woke now, you know, and you're becoming a goddess. No one can tell you anything, and now here's this person that wants to just tame me, you know. So but my dad was like, you know what, because I'm actually not a disrespectful child, I've never seen myself, I've never even pictured myself actually just talking anyhow to my dad. You know, we would have exchanges and disagreements, but it was never to a point where I'm just like, no, you know, I'm gonna do my own thing, I don't care about you, whatever. So it was always that thing. So when I went to him, fine, there was a day I was just pumped up. It was after meditation, vele, after, and because I also had to hide my crystals now, because I would do my meditation in the morning. I would even be scared of doing it outside, because I'm like, yo, what if I do it outside and my dad just, because he's an early riser, you know, and yo, he would just kill me. So I would do them here in the room, and after doing them, I'd have to pack and just put them, you know, because now I'm just scared. He doesn't snoop around, and he's not that person. But there was that thing, I think it was that conflict, you know, where this household serves the Lord, and I'm here bringing things that do not align with what is happening in this household. And I think that's where the fight started, you know, spiritually, and obviously it manifested physically. But we know who's stronger. We can try and try and figure it out, but we know who's stronger. So yeah, in the end, we know who wins. So but anyway, after that, fine, I was like, you know what, I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of having to do these things in my own room. I want to have the space of this big yard and having to walk and do my, you know what I mean, in nature and stuff like that. So fine, I sat my dad down. I was like, you know what, I understand you love me, I understand you raised me the way you raised me. However, I've taken a certain path, you know, and I'm not saying that I'm going to be disrespectful in what you have taught me, but I'm just saying that, can I please figure this thing out on my own? Guys, I don't even know where I got that spindi, you know. And afterwards my dad was like, yeah, he listened to me, and he was like, you know what I can tell you is that these things, the school of thought books that you guys buy, these self-help gurus are only man-made, Thato. And these are things that you will feel intelligent, you will feel like you know so much, but only to realize that you were just picking up from people's knowledge, and you are applying it into your life, and the things that they come with in terms of their spirits. And when you are not aware and you feel like you are highly intelligent because of the books that you are reading, I can tell that you are reading certain books that are school of thought, and I can tell where that journey will lead to, because I have been seeing people that are taking that journey that you are taking, coming back to Christ, and actually experiencing so much delay because of the things that you now have to put off in terms of the spiritual things that you have adopted, and all of those mindsets and all of those things that sometimes even constantly visit you, even when you are delivered, you know, and becomes this constant cycle, and it is not nice. Mina, I'm not trying to tell you what, but this is what I know, and this is the advice that I can give you, you know. And it's like, cool, do your thing, but you know the rule in this house. Sunday morning, there is no one that is left in this house. Everyone goes to church. Everyone does what they need to do just for those. And he even asked me, he's like, I just want 3 hours of your whole week. 10 o'clock, 11, 12, whatever, 11, 12, 1. And then you come back home. And then when you can just do whatever you want to do. But make sure that Sunday, that's all I'm asking for. And for me, there was like a great deal, I guess, because he was just like, hey, you know what, I cannot live this life for you, but I can show you and tell you and give you advice. However, I'm not going to live this life for you, but you know this rule in this house: Sunday, I don't care, you know. And I was like, ah, sure, you know, because to me it was like, I can just be dismissive and just go to church and be a body there and not participate in anything and not pray. Or even when I pray, I would just go into my own world. It's fine, you know. And I was just like, okay, it's fine. Because even then, my business was just, it was running well, you know. And I used to do deliveries on Sunday afternoon, actually Saturday and Sunday. That's how much orders I would receive, and I did it myself, you know. So I would wake up very early in the morning, around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock the latest, and I would have to cook, you know, because I wanted to obviously give them fresh food. And I would cook in the morning, and then the remainder, it would be after church, and after that it would be straight to deliveries. The whole afternoon and whole night I would be doing deliveries, coming back from work, from doing deliveries, very exhausted. So that would be Saturday and Sunday. So even then, on Sunday I'd be like, it's fine anyway, because after church I'm going back home and I'm going to prepare the last things that I need to prepare, and then I will pack and do all the things that I need to do, you know. Fine. So I was like, it's fine, it's a great deal, it's okay, you know. So to cut the story short, I think that is what saved me. Number one, coming back home. Coming back home really saved me, because I know very well that my dad, after me sharing what I shared to him, he made sure that he interceded for me. I know very well, because there were things that would happen inside this room. Like I would want to practice certain things. Like I said to you guys, that I will not divulge much into the things that will open you up to wanting to be, you know, curious into what I did to manifest certain things. So there are things that I would want to do, and the next thing a glass would break, you know, when I would want to play with certain things around water and all of those things, and a glass would break and there'd be an interruption. And you know, it would frustrate me so much that it's only when I came out that I understood that the demons were so frustrated at what was happening in this household, because they could not get a hold of the me that they needed to get a hold of to do certain things, you know. Maybe I could have gone to a place where I was even disrespectful to my father without even not acknowledging or being aware or doing certain things. So because he's a pastor, because he's the person that is anointed to you know, and I mean, like I said, we know who the winner is at the end of the day. So it used to frustrate the demons inside of me, and I would just feel like, yo, if only I could grab a hold of this Jesus or this spirit that is trying to get in the way of my success, because that is the only thing that I thought of, Mina, which, you know, I'm doing all these things so I can be successful, you know, so I can live good for my children, because I'm not someone who wants to go into witchcraft or manipulation or occultic practices so that I can bring other people down. No, I just wanted to flourish, you know what I mean? But the danger was that I wanted to do them in the kingdom of darkness, and I was not aware that I was so deep in it, because of how I used to just manifest. And I thought, it's such a beautiful game. I just sit there, do this, do that, and align my spirit to that, and we are vibrating, you know what I mean? So those are the things that I can share. So anyway, the story time, coming back sharp. And then what happened was, I was doing my deliveries, right? Fine, everything was fine. And then at work, where I used to work, there was just retrenchments after retrenchments and all these things, where I was just like, you know what, maybe this is a sign that I just need to move. And the way things are going with regards to my meal prepping business, things were moving, guys. Things were moving, and it's such a rapid pace, to a point where even my ex's colleagues used to order, and I would come to work late because I would have to prepare food for them, and then I would have to prepare food for my colleagues, and then on the weekend I had to prepare food for the people that would that I would find on social media, or people that would share and obviously bring other people forth. So you can imagine the level of tiredness, the level of exhaustion that I would go into each and every day. And I was like, you know what, maybe this is the sign. Maybe this is a sign from the universe, darling, that this is a time that I just need to cut ties, you know. And I actually, when they were like voluntary package, I was like, can I go? I don't want any disturbances, and I know that anyone can do my job, and can you guys please release me? You know, there were people that wanted to take them and they were not released. And for me, I felt like, yeah, it's because I manifested it, you know. I went there with that thing. I did my things in the morning with, you know what, no one is gonna say no. Everyone is gonna say yes, and the process will be smooth, and that will be a sign. If the process is smooth, then that is a sign that I need to get out of here, you know. And that is exactly what happened. And trust and believe, I was like, I'm out, you know. I'm just gonna focus on my business. And I did focus on my business. Things went smooth, you know. Wake up in the morning, do my thing before cooking and all of those things, and things were fine, guys, until this one day. I will never tell you what happened, but I was using obviously blenders to do juices and smoothies, because my meal prepping was more on a health, you know, someone who wants to lose weight, who wants to maintain the weight, who wants to gain the weight. So I would do a lot of assessments. I had a scale, obviously, that would count your body weight, your body fat, water intake, you know, all of those things, so I can have an overall assessment and then give that person like their nutritional needs and things that they're allergic to, things that they like, so that I can actually make healthy eating fun, you know. So I used to work around all of that, and things were fine. People were losing weight, people were being regular. There's someone that would say that, you know what, ever since I started your breakfast, not even anything else, your breakfast, I've become regular. I used to suffer with constipation, this and that, things were popping. Okay, then this one day, right, I think I started because of being in this house. I will mention that, guys. And the reason why I'm mentioning it is, never take for granted the people that pray for you. Never take for granted the covering that you have. You know, me going to church was me having a covering. You know, things would probably would have attacked me first before they attacked the covering. You know, sometimes when you go to church, and you might not think of the depth of you submitting yourself to a certain church, you giving your tithes and offering to a certain church, you giving your time, you serving at a certain church. There are rewards. God is good. God is a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. That's what the word says. So you doing all of that is diligently seeking him, unaware. You just thinking you're just doing what you're supposed to do, or maybe you have time on your hands, you got to do this and that, but God rewards that, guys. And for me, having that covering, having that umbrella, because I'm under someone, I'm submitting under someone, and there are certain attacks that hit this person first before they can get to me. You know what I mean? There are certain levels of protection that I receive because I'm under this covering. There are some things that maybe could have attacked me so far worse, because if I was just naked and not under a certain covering, because they would just be shooting straight to me, you know. So I'm really grateful and I'm thankful for the covering that I decided, well, involuntary to be a part of. But when I was in the church, I was like, you know what, let me just do something, you know. Let me just do something so that I don't get bored. That is serving. And I didn't even realize that even serving has its own rewards. Giving and tithing is just my thing, so that was not a problem for me to do, because I've for the longest time I've seen what God has done when it came to my giving. I've seen God's faithfulness when it came to sowing and reaping. So I know very well that if I want to sow, if I want to reap a carrot, I will sow a carrot seed, child. I will not be that person that wants to fast and pray my way out of brokenness, out of poverty, knowing very well that my hand is like this. I don't even see myself giving or believing that if I give a seed, then uNkulunkulu is able to multiply. I'm not that person. So I have a clear understanding of that if I want to do this, and I will get this outcome, period, you know. So fine, the covering, I'm grateful for, you know. And with that came obviously me having to start to be serious in the things of God, you know. I would start to, obviously, after listening to a sermon and having to go home and just unpacking what I heard, and things just started to be and then after that, actually, even the twin flame that I was dating, I just decided, you know what, I think it's time. It's time. It's over. I'm just trying to fix my life now, because that guy was good for me for that thato. Hence, I'm saying that sometimes you will attract and want a twin flame, someone that thinks like you, someone that does, you know, that shadows and whatever, and mirrors and whatever, only to find out that this person is not good for where you are going. He's good for right now, for the satisfaction of right now. You guys don't go into conflict much, even when you know, things like that, and you just think, oh, this is the smoothest running relationship I've ever been in. But are you growing? Are you becoming a better person? Or you just like the fact that you guys are just flowing and in sync, you know? So there was that for me, and I was just like, nah. And you know, all of those things now started when I would watch YouTube. I would see, that's when I also saw videos of Megan Good and Devon Franklin, and I was just like, okay, you know what, it's not a bad idea to actually go celibate, because right now I've chosen to be single, so that is a good time for me to go celibate, and I'm the one that's going to decide who I'm going to date and all of those things. So remember, I told you guys there are things that I will skim through so that I can dedicate an episode of those things. That is celibacy included. So anyway, broke it off with Mr. Twin Flame, and I was like, nah, I just want nothing right now. I want to focus on my business, and I want to focus on God, the universe, while I do my thing this side, and on Sundays I get this thing, and I mean, this is going to be a great mesh, you know. I'm just gonna be a universalist, because that's what we do these days, right? All we need is love. All there is in the world is love. So you can be a Buddhist and this and this and this and this, and take from this religion and just combine it and just be one person that is filled with love. The lies they tell. Anyway, so yeah, that was that, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna be that person. Guys, I was not ready. I was not ready.